几个已经失去了很多的这个东西，但是呢，我们都在各自的岗位上呢，为我们的国家、为我们的社会呢，服务奉献我们的自己。那同时仁波切要感恩说，虽然我们还面对这个新冠肺炎的疫情，但是这是一个转折的这个机会，一个转捩点。那虽然是一个危机，可是我们可以利用这个科技的发展。虽然我们在不同的国家、全球各地的不同的这个地方，但是我们在这个空中线上交汇呢，是一件很美好的事情。就好像我们在面前历历在目的，可以跟各位在这个空中线上这个交汇，所以这个是我们必须感恩珍惜的事情。那仁波切也要借这个机会呢，虽然我们活在一个很混乱的这个时代，一个疫情当中呢，可是大家都能够在奉献我们自己自利利他。就也就是说，我们每一个人都在做的一个事情，就尽自己的力量来帮助自己，也帮助别人，特别是在这个应对新冠肺炎的这个非一般的时期当中。
So when I'm saying that, like each and every one of us, that we should contribute, which means that in fact we all are contributing from our side. Like for example, like if you are a doctor, obviously it's very visible that it's really like contributing, especially during this COVID-19, or the doctor and also the police and even the politician or even the farmer. So they all are contributing to our society. So why I'm saying that is because like in our life, so each and every one of us that that in order to make our life more meaningful, so if you can contribute to the society and benefit others, then it will be more meaningful for our life.
刚才忘记了翻译，就是说仁波切特别要向这个站在前线岗位的这些工作人员致敬。仁波切也说，这个每一个人呢都有机会奉献自己的力量来利益他人特别是站在前线岗位的这些所有的医生们、护士们，还有这个警察，还有我们的政治家，乃至于农夫都孜孜不倦的劳心劳力的为社会服务。所以如果要有这个有意义的，要过着充满意义的生活的话呢，那我们必须要在生命中为有这个利他的心呢，为别人奉献我们自己的力量。
And especially all those way of contributing is like very visible, like a farmer and doctor and the police and all those are very like visibly that they are contributing to the human society. And when it comes to the Buddhism, because why I'm saying that is because many of the time people, they think that like, so what is the contribution from the Buddhism to this human society? That is the question is oftenly coming in the people's mind. So that is why I would like to say at the very beginning for some few words about that.
那这些为社会中服务的这些专业人士，特别是医生、护士，乃至于这个警察，乃至于这个政治家，乃至于这个农夫，他们的这个奉献跟努力都是有目共睹的，都是明显易见的。但是有人就会问说，那你们佛教徒，你们做佛教的领袖的人，又能够为这个社会做一些什么呢？所以仁波切会在这边，会在这边为各位开示几句话。
So, and especially I would like to say that like what Buddha have chosen the way to contribute to the human society. It's I would say like it's a very, very less visible, very less visible.
那仁波切要说的就是佛陀选择的方式。佛陀选择让我们为社会奉献我们自己力量的方式是比较不那么的明显易见的。
But when I say less visible, it doesn't mean that less important. Obviously, it's one of the most important part in our life. But yet, very less visible.
然后人们就说这个不显而易见的时候，并不表示说它是不重要的。虽然他这个佛教徒选择奉献自己力量的方式是不明显易见的，可是它却是最为重要的。
Because Buddha has left his palace and everything, all the material thing behind, and then the path he have chosen to contribute to this human society is spreading the message.
因为佛陀这个出家离开皇宫，离开这个荣华富贵的物质的享乐跟生活，那他为的就是要把自己的力量呢奉献，他奉献给世界社会的力量呢，就是要传达这个讯息。
Because in normally or generally that we think there is like what we know about the major activity of the Buddha is that we are considering there is 12 major activities from the Buddha's life, and among that 12 activities, one of I would say most important his activity is his speech, teaching. Teaching is his main activity.
我们都知道这个有读佛陀本身的故事的，佛陀的传记都知道说佛陀有12种行为，或者说佛陀的12行，12种度生的事业当中呢，那人们就说其中最重要的佛陀的活动或者说是事业，就是他的对佛法的开示，他的教理的部分。
Why I am saying that is the most important is because Buddha's body activity we can't see right now. So we can't see it. And obviously Buddha's mind activity is even more difficult to see. It is very difficult to see. The only thing that what we can connect with at the moment is his speech, his teaching.
那我们知道佛陀有分为身口意3种事业跟化现，还有化现他度生的功能。那佛陀的身体当然是我们看不到，那佛陀的意、佛陀的心呢，我们自然也是不是明显易见的，不是每个众生都能够接触得到。但是唯有剩下佛陀的言教，他留下来的教法，就是他的口业的这个度生的事业呢，却是每个人可以接触得到，都是可以明显易见的，感受得到的。
And then, like through Buddha's teaching, then we can connect with the Buddha. So like that is the only access, and like that is the most like important access for each and every one of us. We have to connect with the Buddha.
所以剩下佛陀的言教呢，是唯一剩下的方法，我们可以跟佛陀接心，可以跟佛陀连接在一起的，那也是最重要的，我们能够跟佛陀连接的方法。
And then also when we are talking about the Buddha's teaching, and then Buddha is not emphasizing on like building up houses and making a wealth. So he's not delivering those messages that we have to build up the bigger house and we have to make a lot of money and we have to develop all those like technology. That is the message he's not emphasizing, and he's not focusing on that message. His focus and the most important part, what his focus is the mind. That we should like when we're talking about the human's life, so like when we're talking about human life, the mind is the most important part, isn't it? Mind. So then he's focusing on that part to contribute to the society. How he can deliver the message in order to benefit each and every one of our mind.
那么呢， 佛陀的讯息并不是叫我们要盖很大的房屋，然后赚很多的钱。那佛的讯息绝对不是说要我们过物质般丰盛的生活。那佛陀的讯息就是关于我们的心，因为我们都知道说每一个众生的生命当中，我们的心灵，我们的心是最重要的。那佛陀的讯息就是要佛陀对这个社会、对这个世界最大的奉献，就是要教众生关于他们怎么样调伏各自的这个心性。所以佛陀利乐众生、利乐世界的方法，就是要把这个训练心的方法呢，开示给众生，让众生知道。
But I'm not saying contributing the wealth and the health are not important. I'm not saying that. Obviously, it is very important. I really admire those whomsoever is doing a lot of contribution through through medical service. Because when we talk about the contribution and social service, what comes in our mind is always maybe a doctor with an injection, or maybe a full bag of the food or clothes, something that you are distributing to the poor people. That kind of the idea we always come in our mind when we talk about the social service and contribution. But obviously, these are very important, very helpful. I really admire whomsoever doing all those things. But at the same time, so when we're talking about the human's life, it is not only a body. So there is one of the very important part in our life is our mind.
仁波切的意思并不是说指这些医药的发展啦、科技的进步啦、物质的荣华富贵不重要。当然，这个都是这个奉献社会很重要的一部分，一个领域。但是我们谈到说对社会的奉献、对社会的贡献的时候，往往我们想到就是有一个医生在那边，然后为别人打针吃药，然后把食物或者是把金钱、把衣服，去慈善去救济其他穷苦的、贫苦的这个众生跟人。那我们必须要说，我们这个生活，我们的生命当中，除了我们的身体跟物质享受之外呢，我们的心灵也是很重要的。所以怎么样去利乐、去调伏我们的这个心灵呢？这个就是佛陀对我们的这个世界、对众生最好的奉献。
Okay, so that is why. So and when we are talking about the contribution from the Buddhism, it's mainly focusing on the mind, that how we can train and how we can benefit in order to keep our mind calm and keep our mind happy. So these are the main message. I'm not saying that from the Buddhism, so we are not promoting all those other part of material generosity part. Obviously, there is many different, but the main focus, I'm saying here, main focus is on the mind from the Buddhism.
所以佛陀最主要的讯息是还是关于我们的这个心就是叫我们怎么样去调伏、去训练我们这个心，让我们的心能够静止、能够安和下来，然后让我们的心能够快乐、健康起来。所以这个是佛陀主要的讯息。当然，我们说这个佛陀主要讯息之外，那佛教徒的其他的奉献的领域也包括做一些慈善救济的工作，这些东西当然也是非常的重要的。但是仁波切的意思主要是说。佛法的主要的奉献的社会跟世界的方面呢，还是关于这个心的训练跟心灵的调伏。
So that is why at the beginning that I said that contribution from the Buddhism is very less visible because they are contributing towards the mind. Then which is very less visible because most of the time we don't see the mind, and it's very difficult to identify, or you can difficult to recognize it.
也就是为什么呢？仁波切一开始时候就告诉我们说，这个佛陀或者佛教，对这个世界、对这个社会最好的奉献，就是关于心灵方面的这个贡献跟努力。可是因为心灵是看不到的这个东西，所以佛教乃至于佛陀对这个世界的贡献跟努力呢，都是不容易的被世人、被众生所看见的。
Okay, so then I will not these are the little bit of introduction that I want to say, because we are going to talk about the mind training. So, and when we are going to talk about the mind training, then at the same time that I just want to let everybody know that when we are giving teaching about the mind training, at the same time it is also a contribution from the Buddha that which he have. It's one of the biggest gift and important gift, and so that we have right now, and then we are going to talk about that.
所以仁波切就不讲这么多了，就是在这个修心的课程开始之前呢，跟各位讲了重要的这个几句话，因为我们今天要讲的是修心的这个课题，那这个课程，那修心就这方面，就修心这一方面而言呢，也就是佛陀送给我们最好的、最重要的礼物，因为修心正好就是佛陀或者是佛教徒呢所能够给予这个世界、给整个众生、所有的众生最好的奉献。
I hope that I'm not torturing all of you with my broken English.
仁波切开玩笑说，他希望不会，他讲这个破烂的英文呢，不会虐待各位的耳朵。
Okay, then we will start reciting this, taking refuge and generating Bodhicitta mind prayer at the beginning.
现在我们这个开始念这个前行的皈依跟发菩提心发心文呢。
Okay, so I will share the screen so that you could, or everyone could look at the prayer. And Rinpoche, may I ask, we would use Tibetan to chant 2 times and then English to chant 1 time, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so let me mute. Okay, Rinpoche, please let us to do the chanting.
Okay. Sanje Chodan, Sojin Chonamala, Chanjo Bardo, Dane Japso, Dage Jinso, Jibe Sunam, Dola Pinjere, Sanje, Dupara, Sho, Sanje Chodan, Sojin Chonamala, Chanjo Bardo, Dane Japso. Dage Jinso, Jibe Sanam, Dola Pinjere, Sanje, Dupara, and those who can only understand English and Chinese, so that we can recite in English. In the Buddha, the Dharma, the Supreme Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment by the merit of practicing the paramitas. May I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Okay. Now the second thing that we will decide the aspiration of the Bodhicitta. This is just only 1 time that we will do in Tibetan. Chanjo, Semjo, Rinpoche, Maje, Panam, Jejuro. Jeba Nyamba Meba Dang Konya Kondo Pelavarai Sho. That what we were doing, that first 4 verses, taking refuge and generating Bodhicitta mind prayer, which is composed by Atisha. So due to that, I have chosen that prayer with this 7 point of the mind training.
那我们念的这个皈依跟发心祈愿文都是阿提夏尊者所撰写的，所以跟我们这一次的修心7要的主题有所契合，所以仁波切选择这个祈愿文呢，作为这一次教授的开场白。
Then that second 4 verses is composed by Shantideva, so which is in Bodhisattva Avatara. I have taken out from that because it is mainly aspiration for the Bodhicitta mind. So that since when we are going to talk about this 7 point of the mind training, the main part of the main practice in this 7 point of the mind training is Bodhicitta mind. So due to that, I've chosen that prayer.
那前面呢，之前仁波切说前面的四句偈呢是阿底峡尊者所撰写的，那跟这个修心七要有所关联，所以选择前面的4个句子。然后后来的4个句子是吉天菩萨夏地列巴在这个入菩萨行论里面关于菩提心的精要的开始。所以因为这个菩提心也就是我们这次修心七要最主要的修法之一，所以也选择了这个4个句子呢为下面的我们所要念诵的这个后来的4句话。
And also, so like whenever we do practice, so we do practice or we give teaching, anything so in order to do that, before that, it's very important to take refuge and then to generate Bodhicitta mind. If you generate Bodhicitta mind, whatsoever you do, so it can be turned into a cause for the enlightenment. So due to that, so generating Bodhicitta mind is very important. So it is not only this practice, with any practice, if you do that, then it will turn into the path of enlightenment.
所以就是在我们修持某一个诀窍的时候，开示之前，领受教法之前，很重要就是我们先要做这个前行的皈依以及发菩提心文。那为什么这个是重要呢？因为如果我们有这个皈依跟发菩提心的话呢，那我们所做的一切的活动跟事业都能够转化成为成佛的因，成佛之因，成佛之因。所以这个是非常重要的。也就是说，这前行法呢，就在一切的修法之前都要先打好这个基础，因为这个是成佛的原因，能够把一切的事业都转化为成佛之因。
Okay, then now, so when we are going to talk about this 7 point of the mind training, and in here, when we're talking about this teaching, Atisha is one of the very important for this teaching.
那我们今天的主题就是谈到这个修心七要嘛。我们知道就是说修心七要，阿底峡尊者跟修心七要的关联是息息相关的，非常有关联。
So actually, it is said that this PID instruction, this 7 point of the mind training, is considered as a PID instruction. When we are saying the PID instruction, so it is like that because normally the sutra and the shastra, they are too many and too huge and big. So if in order to practice for oneself, so it is very difficult to combine all together and make it simple to practice. So it is very difficult for normal people. So due to that, when those like great master and like Atisha or like especially this 7 point of the mind training, comes from a Maitreya Buddha. Or you can say also it comes from the Buddha also, this lineage.
所以这个阿底峡尊者，我们提到阿底峡尊者的时候，就必须要想到什么是修心的诀窍，或者什么是修心的这个口诀。那我们知道佛教的经典跟论点都太多、太繁浩了，太多、太深广了，所以我们要修的时候，要把它融摄成简化的、简单的、容易上手的这个诀窍的话，似乎是不太容易的一件事情。所以，我们就有像阿底峡尊者这样的伟大的上师，还有包括弥勒菩萨。还有包括佛陀本身，所以这个修心七要，所有的修心的诀窍，特別是修心七要的精要教法呢，我們可以說，它的傳承都是那邊延續下來的。
So, in fact, it is saying that like where this PID instruction, this 7 point of mind training comes from is, you can say from the Buddha to Maitreya Buddha. Then from Maitreya Buddha to Asanga, then from Asanga to Vasubandhu, then from the Vasubandhu then it's called the Remati. The master is called the Remati. And from the Remati, it's transmitted to a Kusali, bigger Kusali. There is two Kusali. Then one is the bigger. Then from the bigger Kusali to the smaller Kusali. Then from the smaller Kusali to Selingpa. Selingpa is a Dharmakiti Chujito.
那这个修心七要的传承，首先就是从佛陀本人呢传给这个弥勒菩萨 Maitreya， 然后下来传给阿桑嘎，就是无住菩萨。那从无住菩萨传给Vasubandhu， 就是四心菩萨，然后传到 Rimadi， 然后传到这个大古萨利传到小古萨利，然后从小古萨利传给Selingpa， 也就是我们的这个 Dharmakiti 就是荆州大师。所以它整个传承的法脉的传承就是这样的一个缘起。
Then from the Selingpa, then it has been transmitted to Atisha. So like this is the, so I would say like one of the really influential because Atisha is one of the very important figure in Tibet when how to say that it's like because in Tibet it has two times that Dharma has spread in two times in Tibet, the first time and the second time. During the second time, Atisha is one of the key figure that which is like in order to spread the Buddha Dharma. So he is one of the key figure.
所以呢，我们说这个教法就是后来就是从这个荆州大师呢传给这个阿底峡尊者。那阿底峡尊者是这个我们说佛教史当中，特别是西藏佛教史当中举足轻重的一个很重要的人物跟这个祖师。那我们说到西藏佛教的发展时期有分为前弘期跟后弘期，所以阿底峡尊者是后弘期，所以第二个弘法这个西藏佛教弘法的弘传的时代呢，复兴藏传佛教最主要的一个人物之一。
And then this Atisha is also a prince. So I think he was born in Bengal. So we are staying in Sikkim, so it is very near from our state.
所以这阿底峡尊者各位必须要知道他是孟加拉国的王子，所以人们就说我们的所在地是在这个锡金，所以锡金跟孟加拉国是邻居嘛，所以刚好非常靠近。
Then I would say that like this Bengali people have a very important role in Tibetan Buddhism.
所以人们就会说这个，在西藏佛教的弘扬方面呢，这个孟加拉人呢，其实扮演着举足轻重的角色。
Because when Dharma spread into the Tibet first time, one of the most important master is Shantarakshita. So he is also from Bengal.
那我们知道这个佛教初次传入这个西藏，就是由这个三达拉悉达净命大师所弘扬过去的。他自己本身也是一个孟加拉人。
In fact, it is saying that this Atisha and then the Shantarakshita, they are like a same royal family lineage. That kind of they are saying.
也据说呢，这个阿底峡尊者跟这个净命大师三达拉悉达是同样的一个皇族，同样一个血脉传承，属于同一个贵族的家庭的。
And also, not only two of them, there's many others master from Bengal also, like Asanga, Vasubandhu. They are all from the Bengal. So I think Bengali and Tibetan has quite a good good relation, or I would say like very important role for the Tibetan Buddhism.
也不只是这个阿底峡尊者跟这个净命桑达拉悉达大师，那包括我们说阿桑嘎这个无珠大师，包括这个布苏班杜这个世情大师等等，这两人呢都对藏传佛教有着举足轻重的这个贡献，跟这个弘扬方面所扮演重大的角色。所以我们就说西藏人、藏人跟孟加拉人的关系是如同水乳交融，非常的亲密的、亲切的关系。
So before that, we think all those Bengal as India. So nowadays, some people, according to some article, they are saying that those birthplace of Atisha and those Shantarakshita, they are in Bangladesh nowadays. So whatsoever, that is not important. What we are trying to say here is that the teaching of this 7 point of the mind training, how Atisha received this 7 point of the mind training.
当然，我们就说谈到这个孟加拉人的时候呢，有一些文章，有一些论文就告诉我们说，这阿底峡尊者跟这个寂命大师圣达拉悉达，他们都是孟加拉人，他们就是诞生在这个孟加拉这个国家。然而，这无论怎么样都好，这个都不是最重要的事情。最重要的事情，我们谈到这个修心七要，它的传承的来源的起始，都是源自于这个来自于孟加拉国的这个阿底峡尊者，这阿底峡大师。
So, according to the history, that Atisha has sometimes they are saying 70 hour master, and sometimes they are saying like 150 hour master. So, but somehow that he has received teaching from so many different masters.
关于阿底峡尊者的上师，有的人说他有超过70位上师，那有的则说他有超过150位根本上师。无论怎么样的好，总之阿底峡尊者的老师跟上师是很多很多的。
So I would say that because like sometimes that nowadays in our Buddhism society we have I would say a stereotype, false assumption that like we should not be receiving teaching from so many masters. We should receive teaching only from the one master. But if you look at the history, all those great masters, they have 100 hour master they have received teaching from.
那就是仁波切觉得我们佛教的社群当中有一种偏见或者有一种误会吧，很多人都说你只要从一个根本上师那边接受教法就好，不要从很多的上师那边得到这些教法跟这个传承。可是我们看许多的佛教传承里面的许多大师，大多数的大师们都有超过100位根本上师，所以由此可见呢，这些看法这样的见地是错误的，有偏颇的。
Okay. Among all the masters, and then Atisha has received mind training teaching from the 3 main master.
在这许多的老师上师当中，阿底峡主要是从3位上师那边得到了这个修心的诀窍、修心的传承。
So one is the master called Lama Rakshita.
然后第一个就是，
but it is not a Shantarakshita, okay? Because it can be mixed up with the Shantarakshita.
那这第一个老师是 Lama Rakshita， 他不是 Shantarakshita， 因为很多口音听起来很相似，所以误以为是之前那个，他是 Lama Rakshita。
Then the second one is called Lama Chamben Namjur.
然后第二个是，Lama Chamben Namjur。
Okay. Then the third one is Lama Sedlingpa.
然后第三个就是Lama Sedlingpa，就是我们中文讲的荆州大师。
Yeah, this is Dharmakirti. But also, when we call the Dharmakirti, then there's another like Dharmakirti who is like a very important role in the Parmana teaching, but it is not that one. It's a little different.
梵文呢也叫做这个法称 Dharmakirti， 可是不要误会是另外一个传承的这个也叫 Dharmakirti 的，这是两个不同的大师，但是名字梵文名字是一样的，所以不要误会是另外一个大师。
Then when we talk about this Sedlingpa means this settling means golden land. So nowadays, according to the current situation, so we think like many people are saying it is Indonesia. And so maybe it is possible because even now, so Indonesia has a lot of very, I think, huge, good gold mining. So it is possible.
那这个Sedlingpa这个字，Sedling的意思就是荆州盛产黄金的一个地区一个区域，所以很多历史学家告诉我们说，这个印尼所谓的荆州大概是现在的印尼吧，印度尼西亚，因为我们在苏门答腊这个地方呢，也是盛产很多的金块，所以很可能就是这个所谓的Sedling这个荆州呢，指的就是现今的印尼的这个国家的区域。
And then this, like among these three masters, that he received this 7 point of the mind training, so which is directly from Lama Sedlingpa. That I think ancient time, I think he went into a boat from India to that place for almost like 13 months in a boat in order to see Dharmakirti, that Sedlingpa Dharmakirti.
那这个修心七要的这个诀窍，就是这个阿提夏尊者就是从Sedlingpa，就是 Dharmakirti 大师、荆州大师那边呢亲自得到这个诀窍的传承的教法的传承的。那据说他是坐船坐了13个月的船，那么漂洋过海呢，到来这个荆州的这个地方呢，从这个 Dharmakirti 也是荆州大师里面得到这个修心七要的诀窍的这个传授。
And also, maybe I think like building this, what is that place called? Borobudur? Borobudur, yeah. Borobudur, and I think all those Atisha timing, they are like almost the same period of the time. Maybe during those kind of the time, it might be possible. I'm just saying that.
那仁波切或许也认为说，或许呢，这个佛罗浮屠就是这个波罗波鲁印尼的这个很大的一个坛城嘛，对不对？就是大概也是在这阿底峡来到这个荆州这个印度尼西亚的这个时期呢，同一个时期被建立起来的，大概是这样同一个时代。
And so when we are talking about this 7 point of the mind training, so it is very unique. And why it is so unique about this 7 point of the mind training is because it is saying that the Danjing Mibong Tini Jumsin to Chen Jangwa. So normally in other texts and in other teaching, they always ask you to abandon the self-clinging. In here, so it is saying that instead of abandoning that, eliminating that self-clinging, so you should use that self-clinging and to practice this Bodhicitta mind. So that is why it is very unique.
那这个修心七要是非常殊胜、非常特殊的、难得的一个教法传承跟诀窍。为什么这么说呢？因为在所有的教法当中呢，我们都知道佛陀的教法里面都叫我们要舍弃我执，去除这个自我真爱之心。可是这个修心七要偏偏是与之相反的，反其道而行。为什么呢？因为这个修心七要里面有告诉我们说，这个 自我真爱之心啊，这个我执可以转之为道，以之为道用，转化为修行的这个诀窍，然后用它来修持这个菩提心。所以这个就是修心7要跟其他的佛教的教法不同的、不共的特殊的地方。
Because when we are talking about any teaching or any bit instruction, so like especially the Sutrayana, it has to be comes from the sutra, isn't it? If it is not comes from the sutra, then it will not become a Buddha's teaching.
我们谈到这个佛陀的教法的时候，特别它是经称的显教的教法，我们说是显教之所以称为这个经称，就是它的教法都是从经典那边延伸出来的。然后如果不是从经典那边延伸出来的话，就不能够称其为佛陀的正法或者佛陀的所传承下来的教法。
So in here, this 7 point of the mind training, so which is based on sutra called the Vimalakitra Nidarasha Sutra, Vimalakitri Nidarasha Sutra.
那个这个修心7要的诀窍，刚好就是从这个《维摩诘所说经》里面呢所延伸出来的这个教法。
Because in that sutra, it is said that self-clinging is cause of enlightenment. Normally, we are saying the self-clinging is the cause of samsara. Now, in that sutra, it is saying self-clinging is the cause of enlightenment. So, this 7 point of mind training is based on that sutra, and then teaching this how to practice Bodhicitta mind.
因为呢，在这个《维摩诘所说经》里面就有讲到说，一般说这个我们说这个我执或者是自我真爱之心呢，是轮回的根本，轮回的原因。可是这个《维摩诘所说经》呢，刚好是相反的。他说这个自我真爱的我执之心，正好就是成佛的主要的原因，所以它跟一般的这个教法是完全不一样的。所以这正好这个转之为道用，转我执为修菩提心之因呢，也正好就是这个修心7要的它的内容架构的主要的基础跟背景。
And also the sutra is that Vimalakitri Nidarasha Sutra, and all the logical part is based on Shastra called Changsa, Chanjusimbasa, means like Bodhisattva Bhumi, so which is composed by the Asanga.
也这关于逻辑方面的这个道途，也就是论点方面呢，也是从这个昌萨这边出来，就是普萨地道，也就是这个普萨的这个几地啊，普萨的这个地道的这个修持，也就是无住菩萨阿桑嘎这边呢所著作的论点。
Okay, so I think this is just like a briefly kind of introduction. How this teaching comes from, and then this 7 point of the mind training is based on which sutra, and then like how it is going to be train you to practice Bodhicitta mind. This is just a briefly introduction kind of.
所以仁波切刚才所说的那些，主要是一些简单的介绍，关于这个修心7要这个诀窍的传承的历史，它的缘起、它的来源是哪一部经典、哪一个论点当中呢所延伸出来的这个内容背后的这个背景，以及怎么样以这个背景为这个起修菩提心的基础跟开始。
So then here, so when we're talking about the mind training, yeah. So when we talk about the mind training, then I would say like most of the people, but for those who is senior in Buddhism, I think they must have already knowledge, and they must have idea about what is the mind. But in case if there's some one or few new participating and new with the Buddhism, then I would say like mind. So when we talk about the mind, and so because scientifically, and then what Buddhism we are saying is a quite difference.
那一般呢，一般的佛教徒，一般大众而言呢，特别是佛教徒的老参老修行者，大概都知道什么叫做心啊，大概对心这个字都有一定的理解跟认知。可是，对一些新来的同学，可能有一两个刚刚认识佛法的同学，可能他们不太明白，所以仁波切会在这边为各位讲解一下什么叫做心。那心呢，在科学方面呢也好，在从佛法的角度来看也好，它都有不同的定义跟不同的见地。
Because mind is one of the most important part, essential figure of our life. Yeah? So then, but still, most of us, we don't really know what it is.
因为心呢，在我们的生命中是举足轻重、最重要的一个灵魂，一个主要的领域就是我们的心。可是大部分的我们呢，都不知道我们的心是什么东西，心之为何，我们一点都不清楚。
But many of, including me, many of us, we think that we know what is the mind, yeah? But in fact, we don't know what is the mind.
仁波切说，包括他自己本身，我们以为我们自己知道我们的心是什么，可是认真的来说，我们都不知道心到底所指为何，我们一点都不清楚的。
Because introducing mind is one of the very important core practice for the Buddhism, and especially for this Vajrayana practice. Introducing mind is one of the most and very deep teaching, very important teaching. So it is not that easy that when we say that, oh, so it's very mind is very important, center figure in our life, but still we don't know. It is not that because that you don't know, still it is easy. But I mean to say it is difficult, so that is why we don't know. Difficult to know what it is actually.
所以为众生引介他们的这个自性本性呢，可以说是佛法的修学上一个最重要的事情。那特别是金刚乘的这个行门而言，就这个金刚乘的行门而言呢，更是最重要的一种事情，就是为众生引介他的自性本性。所以可见呢，我们的心性在这方面是非常的这个重要的。心我们说是一切我们生命中的最重要的主角，可是我们不知道这个心的它的样貌到底是怎么样的一回事，我们不了解这个心到底是什么。那不只是这样说而已，而是说心之所以难知难解，就是因为它是甚深的，它是重要的，不是因为它是浅白易懂我们不了解，正好它是因为深奥甚深，又必须被我们去知道去了悟的，所以正显出它的重要性，它的深不可测。
Because in our Buddhism teaching, what we call the Semwote in Tibetan, we call it Semwote, it's introducing mind. That is a very important and very sacred teaching. So this is a very important teaching. It is not that mind is easy to understand, because it is one of the most complex and complicated I would say phenomena that it's in our life, within our life.
所以我们说这个在藏传佛教里面呢，引介为众生引介这个心性、自性本性是最重要，也是最难做到的一件事情。那恰恰因为它是不容易的，所以它也是我们的心呢，在我们的生命中扮演着这么大的一个最主要的角色。可是它也是偏偏是最繁复、最复杂的、最难以被理解的一种生命中的现象。
So, and I would say how we explain actually that as we can say, it is not that I know the mind. It is not that. It is simply saying that how we introduce normally in a text, in our Buddhism text.
也就是说，不是说人们就说不是说他知道这个心的实相，而是说我们根据这个佛陀的论点所留下的经典当中，我们去为各位引介，为各位去讲解什么叫做心，什么是心。
So I would say, like according to like Buddhism, so and I think scientists also that we have very big differences, because like according to those like Western philosopher, they only like that early philosopher that what is his name, that French philosopher called the Descartes. So maybe it's like within those 16th century period of the time, that he said that like mind and he did separate mind and body separately, and when he separate that mind and body, then there is another, all those like scientists and those what is his name, Antonio Damansa, that Portuguese, one of the Portuguese scientists, he said that that is error of the Descartes, that he is separating mind and the body, because he thinks that mind and body are not separated.
所以就这方面而言呢，佛教跟这科学界乃至哲学界都有意见上的分歧跟不同。我们就拿这个西方的哲学来说呢，我们西方有一个很著名的早期启蒙时代的一个这个哲学家叫笛卡尔，就是16世纪的一个笛卡尔叫一个哲学家，就是说我思故我在，他把我们的心跟我们的身体是分开的，是两者是完全不一样的两回事情所以心跟身是分开的。那有一个叫做安东尼的这个科学家就指出这个错谬，他说我们的身心本来就是一体的，所以心跟身体绝对是不能够分开来说的。所以他只说这是笛卡尔所犯下的一个哲学方面的一个错误。
Then in the rest of the most scientists, they are not separating mind from the body. So they are like almost like same, that they all agree on the same thing, that mind is part of the body only.
那么当然其他的科学家其他哲学家不认为说身体跟心灵是分开的，他们认为身心是一体的，或者说身心是一如的，但是呢心是属于身体的一部分而已。
And then I think there's when they are saying the part of the body, then again there is a different opinion. So when they talk about the mind, then like ancient Egyptian, and then that Aristotle, and then like even some of the Japanese culture, they believe. What happened? Hello, can you hear? Can you see? Better, you must be better there.
Rinpoche, I could hear, but I could not see the video. But I could hear you.
I think Rinpoche is having battery issue. Battery.
Okay, sorry for not seeing because that camera battery was.
我先翻译一下，就是仁波切说，在这方面而言呢，就是很多人有一些哲学家、一些科学家说，既然他们认为心是身体的一部分呢，那在这方面的见地也有各不相同的地方，包括一些埃及的哲学家、科学家，还有 Aristotle， 还有这个日本的文化等等啊。然后讲到这边的时候，仁波切就停住了，现在我们的画面就是卡住了。
Okay. So it's okay, even though that we can't see, that if you can hear, I can talk. so that they are saying that like when they are talking about the mind, when they're talking about the mind, that they believe that heart is the locus for the all the thought and emotions.
当我们谈到心的时候，这些人、这些哲学家、科学家们都会认为说，心的所在地在哪，在什么地方呢？心的所在地是我们的，在人体里面心脏那个部位，就是我们的思想跟情绪聚合的地方，就是在心脏这个部位，这个器官。
So, can you see now?
Yeah, we can see you now, Rinpoche.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So, camera battery was down just now. So then, like another, like when, like later on, then like there's a Greek physician, Galen, or so many, like all the others scientists or physicians till now, they are believing the brain is the location, or it's like a central part for our body.
但是后来的后期的一些希腊的一些哲学家、一些医学家、一些医生、科学家等等呢，却认为说，头脑，我们的脑部呢，才是我们的心的地位，才是心之所在地呢，就是我们的头脑。头脑是我们一切的思想跟情绪的聚会的这个地方。
So that is why. So it is even difficult to find where mind is located, where it is. Yeah? So it is difficult to find also.
所以说到这个心的时候，你去找心到底在什么地方，心到底处于我们身体中哪一个地方，但是很难被找到的，都找不到心的所在地。
Because different culture and different scientists, different school, they believe like differently. Some believe it is in the brain. Some believe it locates on the heart. But in our generally, so commonly, like worldly opinion, that worldly opinion also that we are mixed up, because like sometimes when we talk about the thought, thinking, when you say I think and you are thinking, then so people think that you are thinking from the brain.
那所以很多不同的哲学流派、不同的文化、不同的传承、思想的传承呢，都对这个心的所在地有各个不一样的看法。有些人认为说心就在脑部这一边，有些人认为心就在心脏这个部位。所以不管怎么样都好呢，在世间法而言，世间的一般人是怎么样想、怎么样看的呢？有时候我们说我想，当我们说我想一样东西的时候，我们会用手指着我们的脑袋、我们的头部。我们认为说我在思维的时候，就是用我的脑袋。我的头脑在思想，在思维。
And when we talk about the thought and thinking, then what impression we have is like more calculative, not so like if you say that I think, then you are saying, oh yeah, now he's calculating. He's calculating what it might come and what it will benefit. That kind of the impression that we have.
那当我们说到我在思维、我在思想、我在想这样东西的时候，我们脑海中会浮现出，这个人在算计，在做一些算计、投资报酬率方面的算计的工作。所以，当我们说我在思维、在想的时候，就是有利害关系牵涉其中。那个人就在做一些算计上的功夫，算计上的这种计算了，在那边算来算去。
Then, when we talk about from the heart. Then it's like more pure, like in our like general worldly opinion. If you say it comes from my heart, means like more pure, that you are not so calculating about.
所以当一般人说到说，我是从内心深处这样认为、这样感觉了，那个感觉是会比较纯粹一点，比较单纯、比较纯净一点，也就是没有那么多的算计，也是从心里面。把这感觉说出来，就是内心深处发出来的，所以没有头脑那般的会算。
So anyway, so in our common worldly opinion, we also think from the both heart and brain. both are producing its location from the mind. Yeah?
所以从世间的一般人的角度的想法的思想来看呢，我们说就是我们不管是我们的心脏的部位也好，我们的心这边或者是我们头脑那边也好，这两个地方都是我们的心思跟我们的情绪的泉源。
And I think, and also like most of the other religion school, they are accepting mind is separate from a body.
仁波切认为说，其他的宗教或者其他的哲学流派、宗派也好，他们认为我们的心跟身体呢是分开的，两者不是同一件事。
I think Hinduism or Buddhism or all the different religion, when it comes to the religion school, they always think that mind is not really a part of the body. It's more like separate from the body.
所以你看，不管是印度教也好，佛教也好，那都不会认为说心是身体的一部分。我们认为是身体跟心灵呢，可以说是有关系，但是不完全是同一件事，是两个不同的。
Okay, like this is what I found, and then I think it's time for the question and answer. That I would talk about how Buddhism explain about the mind later after the question and answer.
所以仁波切就讲到这边，因为现在应该是发问时间，那问答之后，仁波切会继续的讲关于这个佛教对心的看法跟这个见地。
Okay, so for all Dharma brothers and sisters, as your mic are mute, so you could raise the question or other things you would like to discuss about the 7 points of mind training in the Zoom group chat room. That is, say, if you have questions, you could say, I will demonstrate it to you. There's, switch. You could see the chat room here. Say hi. My question is. See what I mean? And I will read it out for you.
Okay.
As we are waiting, actually, I have one question. As I'm become a Buddhist for not really a long time, around 2.5 years, and but I know that all our mind, or what Mingyur Rinpoche said, our monkey mind is kind of emptiness. Our emotion does not exist. Well, this is in theory. I know that I should not got triggered by the surrounding, but when I observe different kind of phenomenon, it do trigger me to have emotions. Say I'm from Hong Kong, and currently we are facing a huge political events for around a year, and I got frustration really easily when I see some kind of injustice picture in my society. That's what my question is. What should I do to apply those theory for our mind that it is emptiness? I should not be triggered by the outside situation.
这个一届的这个这个一届的问题呢，一届的问题就问说他学佛不太久，就是大概2年半左右而已。那他有听过这个Mingyur Rinpoche的教法，就是说我们的这个 monkey mind， 就是我们像猿猴一般的心呢，它的本身的究竟呢，本身究竟而言就是一个空性，所以它是不实际存在的。虽然是这样讲，可是当他 他很容易被这个世间的一些现象所激怒，或者是产生一些情绪化的一些反应啊。特别是香港，大家都知道，香港面对一些国安法的这个激荡，那特别是这个看到一些不公不义的事情的时候，因为他是香港人，所以特别容易感到情绪容易激动。所以他对仁波切的问题就是说，仁波切，我要怎么样把这个对心就是空性的这个理论化为这个实践？然后进而不会那么的容易被世间的不公不义的这些现象所激怒，或者是产生情绪化的一种反应。
Okay. Yes, this is like a very yes, it's like I would say it's a kind of controversial. So I don't know so much about the political situation, but I would say obviously, so when we are talking about the justice, so it is so there is not one solution for the every problem, because for the different problem, so they need to use the different solution in order to give the justice. Yeah, so that is the only I can say. So when we are talking about then, when he is feeling frustration, like when he is feeling frustration, that is like his own individual, individual problem. So I think for that it is very important to keep his mind calm, to think carefully, because most of the time when our emotions are emotions are distraction. All the emotions are distraction. When emotion arise, what happens is that our mind becoming diluted, that we cannot see things through clearly. So that is why I would say first that it's very important to keep calm your emotion.
仁波切说这是一个蛮争议性的一个政治的课题。仁波切说他对政治的观点研究不大，所以要讲的其实不多。然而如果我们面对一些世界上不公义的事情的时候呢，我们必须要说，每一件事情都有不同的解决方案，没有一个解决方式是能够适用于所有的这个不公不义的事情的。所以这一点我们必须要知道，没有一个方法是可以适用于所有的课题的。那下来说，当我们个人的层面而言，当我们发现到自己的情绪有波动的时候，我们容易沮丧、失望或者容易愤怒的时候呢，首先我们所要做的首要之务就是要让我们的心冷静下来，不要那么的情绪的波动。为什么呢？因为仁波切说，如果你的心思不够冷静的话，那你容易情绪波动的话，你的思维就会被你的情绪所干扰。那你的思维被情绪所干扰的话，你要做决定的话，就是会犯下一些错误判断的错误。所以最主要是不要让我们的情绪影响我们的思维，那我们的心是最主要保持清明、稳定、安住、止静。那这样的话才能够做出对我们跟对其他人都有利的判断跟这个决定。所以首要之务呢，就是先让我们的情绪先冷静下来，以保有这个比较清明、比较冷静的思考。
Okay, thank you, Rinpoche. So I'll read the second question from T.Y. And he said, H.H Dalai Rinpoche, how about DNA? And how about consciousness? Is it same as mind?
这个问题问到 DNA， 这是核氧核糖核酸跟这个意识 consciousness 跟心的关系 ，DNA 心跟意识这三者的关系是一样的吗？还是不一样的？
Okay. Done translating?
Yeah, already, Rinpoche.
Okay. Yeah, I would say like when we are talking about the DNA, so when we are talking about the particle. Yeah, because so when we are talking about the DNA, it's like a DNA is also kind of the atom or that you will find in a particle. Not for the mind, there is no DNA because mind is a formless. According to the Buddhism, mind is a formless. Then without a form, then there is no DNA.
我们说这个核氧、核糖、核酸就是 DNA 了 ，DNA 就是跟这个科学的物理层面有关系。然后科学的物理层面就是指粒子啊、原子这些东西。可是我们的心的它的本性不是 DNA， 因为它是无形、无色、无相的。那既然无形、无色、无相的话，它就是非 DNA 的事情。所以非 DNA， 这心绝对不是 DNA， 因为心是无形、无色、无相 ，DNA 是有形有色的。
And so what is the another question? DNA and
consciousness.
Consciousness. Yes.
And mind is same.
Okay. Yeah, according to the Buddhism, so we call it the same because when we are conscious, means like aware. When we are conscious, aware, it's a reaction from the mind, consciousness or mind. That is, I think, the same according to the Buddhism.
那关于心跟意识方面的分别呢？那仁波切说，意识就是所谓当你对一样事情有意识的时候，你就有所觉知，有觉知，那个觉知本身就是心的作用。所以就这点而言，心跟意识可以说是等同的，它的意义。
So, is it okay?
有达到问题吗？
I think now, so we have to move to the topic, and then later on we can have a question and answer at the end.
我们继续的讲课吧。那到最后的阶段，我们再做一次的问答，好不好？
Okay. So, yes, what we were talking just before. yes, we are talking about the mind. Yeah, mind.
Yeah.
So, according to the Buddhism, so I would. Yeah, just now I said that mind is formless. Mind has no form.
所以我们继续的讲什么叫做心呢？根据佛教的见地呢，心是无形、无色、无相的，心没有一定的形貌状相。
And then, when we're talking about the mind, so for the Buddhism, that we will not say that mind is inside the body or outside the body, because mind is formless. When we are talking about the inside or outside, that is measuring for the measuring something which is in a form. Because if there is no form, that we cannot measure it's inside or outside the body.
那当就佛教而言呢，当我们谈到心的时候，我们不能说心在身体的里面或者在身体的外面，因为当你说能够在身体里面或在身体的外面的时候，它是可以被测知的、被衡量的、被抑制的一种物理的现象，而心是无形、无色、无相的啊，所以它既然是无形、无色、无相的话，它就是不可被测知的，它没有一个特定的所在地，也就是说，你不能说它在身体里面或者在身体外面。
So in a Tibetan, we call it mind is Salching Ripa, means like just clarity. Mind is just simply clarity.
所以藏文说，这个心叫三界瑞巴，就是心是自然的一种本名，就是自然这种一种纯净本觉的这个现象。
That someone which has capability to knowing all the different things.
因为心有一种本然的这种本能呢，去能够对一切的现象了了分明、念之在之。
But when we talk about the connection between the mind and body, it's very connected with each other, depend on each other.
当然，当我们说到心跟身体之间的关系的时候，这两者是息息相关的，这两者是相互依存的。
And I would say like mind is spread all around our body.
我们可以说，心是遍布身体的每一个部位的，甚至一切遍在的，在我们身体的各个部位都有我们的心。
Because so when I say that spread all around the body, it is an idea from Abhidhamma Kosha. It is said that Simbin Juan is like element that which is connected with the mind, element which is connected with the mind. That means all our body is part of the element, different elements. So, and which is connected with the mind. So due to that, so if we touch our hand or our nose or our forehead, wherever we touch, we can feel, and we have that feeling right away.
所以，我们说这个心，为什么说是心在我们的身体里面呢？身体的各个部位是一切遍在呢？因为根据这个阿毗达摩俱舍论，阿毗达摩扣下这边有说过，我们身体里面的各大元素，地水火风空，跟我们的心是息息相关的。也就是说，当你用手指碰到你的鼻子或者你的这个额头，或者动到你的手的时候，你就直接的对那个地方、那个元素、那个身体的质感呢有所觉知、有所感触。所以这证明说，我们的心是在我们的身体遍布各个角落、各个器官。是无处不在的，是一切遍在的。
Okay, like this is like how we generally like very briefly introducing, we are not going very deep and high level of teaching. We just simply that we are introducing what is the mind according to the Buddhism. That is just a formless, which is spread all around the body, and which is not either not inside our body or outside our body. That is how we explain.
当然，这边的说法并不是这个佛理中比较高一层的或者比较深奥的这个心性方面的这个解说，而是一般的，就一般佛教的见地而言呢，我们说是心是无形无色无相的。那心呢，就是不可能是在这个身体的里面或者身体的外面。它在我们的身体的各个部分呢，是一切遍在的，遍一切处的。
Okay, then now I think that we will move back to our topic because I just want to introduce the mind briefly so that we will know when we are talking about the mind training, what are we going to train?
所以现在回到我们的这个主题，那仁波切之所以要讲什么叫做心，因为我们这主题是修心嘛，那你要修的是什么？这个心所修的这个心到底是怎么样的一回事？所以我们要先把这个心给弄清楚、搞明白，所以为各位讲解了什么叫做心的内容。
Then this 7 point of the mind training, which is received from Selingpa Dhammakiti. Atisha has received from the Selingpa Dhammakiti. Then from the Atisha, so he has transmitted to his like one of his main disciples. It's called the Dhongtempa. Then from the Dhongtempa, he has transmitted to, I think, Potowa. Then I think from the Potowa, Geshe Potowa. Then from the Potowa, I think he has transmitted to Sharawa. Then from Sharawa, transmitted to Chekawa Yeshedoje.
然后这个修心的主要的传承就是从这个Selingpa Dhammakiti，就是荆州法成大师传给这个阿底夏，就是阿底夏尊者。那阿底夏尊者传给这个东干巴， 然后传给这个 Geshe 博达瓦，然后葛西博达瓦呢传给这个沙拉瓦，沙拉瓦传起切克瓦，切克瓦耶谢多杰就是我们的这个本论的著作者，是 Geshe 切克瓦耶谢多杰。
Yeah, so then till the Geshe Chekawa, then from the Maitreya Buddha till the Geshe Chekawa, they all are transmitted by master to one disciple only.
那从这个弥勒菩萨一直到这个葛西切克瓦，那都是师徒相授的，一个人传给另一个人，都是师徒代代承受，代代传授下来，一代又一代的传授下来的。
Then I think from the Geshe Chekawa Yeshe Doje, then he taught this he make it public teaching. So then from that, then this 7 point of the mind training becoming more popular and well spread.
也就是从这个 Geshe 切克瓦耶谢多杰这边开始呢，就是切克瓦大师这边开始呢，就开始广传这个修行的诀窍，开始公开为大众公开说这个修行七要。所以从那个时候，葛西切克瓦的时代，这修行七要的诀窍开始被红传起来。
Okay, so I hope like everybody can follow what we are talking about.
大家都应该跟得上我们在这边所讲的内容吗？
Then especially this, I would say like Kadampa tradition is a very important figure for all the Sarma lineage. Sarma lineage means new lineage.
也是卡当派的这个修心的诀窍，在这个萨玛就是新传承，就是新一代的这个藏传佛教的传承当中，显得是举足轻重、非常重要的传承。
Because when we talk about the Sarma lineage, it's more so what we have now is like a Sakya, Kaju, and Geluk. These three we are considering as a Sarma lineage. All those three lineage, the Kadampa tradition is like one of the very important, and so like one of very influential.
那当我们说在三马这个新教派的时候，所指的就是藏传佛教四大教派当中的萨迦、噶举跟格鲁派，也就是一般俗称的白教、黄教跟这个白教、黄教跟花教。所以这三大传承当中，卡当派的修法，特别是修行的诀窍，扮演着一个非常举足轻重的重要的角色。
Because all the great master from these three lineage, so they have received teaching from directly or indirectly from the Kadampa tradition.
因为这三大教派，不管是萨迦、噶举、格鲁也好，这三大教派许多的传承上师跟大师们，都直接或者非直接的从噶当派那边呢得到他的这个法乳的口诀、修行的口诀跟传承。
Okay, now I think I will just go to the first point. I will just trying to go to the first point because I see some of them are being little impatient that we are not really entering to the point of what the main topic.
然后因为看到各位在场在线上的一些大家就有点不耐心了，就是我们讲了这么久都没有讲到这个主题，所以我们就说这样就不会浪费时间，直接进入讲了。第一个修心七要的第一要。
So, because why we are calling this 7 point of mind training is because in this teaching, the main part is there is a 7 point. So among the 7 point, the first very very beginning point is it's called the preliminary point.
那为什么称之为修心七要呢？那称之为修心七要，因为它修心这一方面的它的诀窍有7个要点，所以称之为修心七要。修心七要第一个要点就是要学诸加行，就是要修学各种加行法。
Then, since I think most of you have this PDF file also, at the same time, we're also seeing in the screen that first point is saying that first train in the preliminary.
大家都有这个 PDF 的这个文档，对不对？然后我们看到这个荧幕上面就有写，第一个修学诸加行，修学诸加行，第一个要点就是要修习各种前行法。
Okay, so now when we are talking about this, first we should train in the preliminaries, and it is saying that first that you should study well about the step of three individuals path.
那也就是说，修学前行法，首先就要对这个三世道、3种不同种类的众生的这个前行基础有一定的了解跟认知。
So I would like to tell you one thing that I am following the commentary that which has been collected by this Muchen Semba Chempo and then Semba Chempo Yunu Jancho. So they have collected 100 Lojong Jatsa, 100 different mind training they have collected. And from that, I'm using that commentaries from that one of those 100 among one of those 100.
那必须要跟各位讲是，仁波切是根据这个 Muchen Sempa Chempo 这个一对收集了这个100种修心的诀窍的释义方面的这个解释呢，这个释义呢，来为各位讲解这一次的这个修行七要的这个诀窍。
And then in here, so because when we are saying this step of three individual path, so and from the Atisha, so he has composed during his stay in Tibet. He has composed the text called the Chanchup Lamde. Chanchup Lamde. Chanchup is like a body, body part, length of the body part.
那关于这个三世道的这个解说，也就是阿底峡尊者当初在西藏的时候，他就有撰写的这个《菩提道灯论》，就是关于道次第的解说、内容的解说，跟他次第修行的意义真上修习的各种的阶梯式的解说，就是菩提道灯。
So in that text, that he divided three different steps for the three different individuals.
在这个菩提道灯论里面呢，阿底峡尊者把众生的根器分成上世、中世、下世3种不同的根器，所以称之为三世道。
So in here, so what it is saying is first we should train in the preliminaries. When we are saying that, it is mean that you should study those steps of path to enlightenment. Then after that, you have to receive this Bodhicitta vow.
也就是说，这边所指的修行7要的第一要，所谓的修习各种前行法，所指的就是我们必须要对这个道次第、 各个道次第上士、中士、下士呢有所认知跟体悟跟这个了解。那接下来第二步就是要接受菩萨戒，先去领受这个菩萨的利于戒律。
And I would tell you one thing here, because when we are talking about this practice of the Bodhicitta mind, according to the Atisha tradition, so when we are talking about that, so Atisha tradition, they are following a Chittamatara school ritual in order to receive the Bodhicitta mind.
当我们谈到这个修行的诀窍，谈到阿底峡尊者的这个传承的时候，我们必须要搞清楚，这个仁波切的这个阿底峡尊者的修行的传承是根据这个基达玛爪，就是唯识宗的这个修行的传承呢，来传授这个菩萨的利于，就是传授菩萨戒的。
Because in order to practice, because normally we think that we can practice like Bodhicitta without receiving any kind of Bodhicitta vow or anything like that. But obviously, so when you practice Bodhicitta without receiving a Bodhicitta vow, so you can say that it is that you are practicing compassion and loving and kindness. But I don't think it became a Bodhicitta mind, because when we are talking about the Bodhicitta mind, it requires that vow, that you have to take a vow with the rituals.
所以一般人认为说，我们只要修菩萨道，修这个菩萨行就好，不需要先接受这个菩萨戒律。但是严格来讲不是这样的，因为如果你只是没有经过这个受菩萨戒而直接去行菩萨道的话，那这样只能够最多等同于修持慈心跟悲心而已，还不算是菩提心的修持。所以如果要归类为这个菩提心的修持的话，大前提必须是你先要从一个老师那边先得到这个菩萨戒的利于，通过一个受戒的仪式呢，先得到菩萨戒，然后才能够算是对这个菩提心有所修有所证。
Then, when we're talking about the rituals to receive Bodhicitta vow, there is only two different rituals which exist nowadays. That Chittamatara school and Madhyamika school, there is two rituals and lineage.
关于现存的传授菩提心戒或者菩萨戒的仪轨跟利于的仪式呢，只有两种，一个就是基达玛爪，就是唯识宗所传下来的，另外一个就是中观 Madhyamika 的这个法脉跟这个传承。所以现存的法脉传承的仪轨就只有中观跟唯识的这两种。
So if we want to practice this spirit instruction, that 7 point of the mind training, this is Atisha tradition. Then in order to practice, obviously, so like if you want to follow the Atisha tradition, like this is what I mean. Even if you receive like a Madhyamika school ritual, Madhyamika lineage Bodhisattva vow, still you can practice. But what I mean to say here is like if you want to follow the Atisha tradition, that you have to receive Bodhicitta vow according to Chittamatara ritual tradition.
也就是如果你是认真的要修学这个阿底峡尊者传承的这个修心七要的话，你就是必须要依照这个唯识宗的规矩，跟依据唯识宗的仪轨呢，去接受修学这个菩萨戒、菩提心戒。当然，如果从中观宗或者中观传承的话，得到这个菩萨戒也未尝不可。但是如果你要认真来修学阿底峡尊者的这个法脉传承的修行诀窍的话，最好还是必须要从这个唯识宗的 这个菩萨界的仪轨那边呢受戒，然后修正、修学、修正这个菩提心。
And if we want to practice according to Chittamatra school, then the discipline is a little more strict than Madhyamika lineage.
而且如果你要修学唯识宗的菩萨戒、菩萨道的话，那这个戒律方面呢是来的比这个中观学派来的更为严格、更为严谨的。
Because this like Chittamatra school, this Bodhicitta vow came from Maitreya Buddha, and then that Madhyamika Bodhicitta vow comes from Manjushri and then Nagarjuna that way. Then that Chittamatra is from Maitreya Buddha and Asanga. Like there's a different lineage and different style. The most important part is they have a different style, I would say.
所以这个我们说这个唯识宗的唯识传承的这个菩萨戒的传承是源自于这个弥勒佛，然后传到这个无著菩萨那边，那个法脉相承下来的。然后这个中观学派中观传承的这个菩萨戒的立语这个仪轨呢，则是从这个文殊师利菩萨传到龙树菩萨这边一脉相承下来的。总之这两个甚深见跟广行派的这两个不同的传承呢，主要来说他们两个的风格都大不相同。
It's a bit similar like for the different different community, they have a different country, have a different culture, and like for example, for the getting married, they have a different also rituals also.
就像不同国家有各个不同的文化，不同文化中的婚礼都是不一样的，因为不同文化的风情风土人情都大不相同的缘故。
Like for maybe I can just give example. Like in some place you can just go to court and get married with a few signs with one or two what is that called? A witness, yeah, one or two witnesses. Yeah, so they can get married easily. But for according to the Indian tradition, that sounds like just a contract, not a marriage.
所以比如说一些国家、一些文化当中，你只要去法庭叫一些人签名字见证你的这个结婚，你就是算是把婚礼完成了。可是对印度的文化风土人情来说，这个还不算是，你只签了纸上的一个签约而已，不算是已经行了婚礼。所以这个风土人情的不一样了，所以有不一样的见地跟看法。
Maybe because I have watched too much Bollywood movies, so in like Bollywood movies, for the marriage is like so important, and they need a family, drama, dancing, singing, and crying. All the emotions and drama are required for the complete marriage.
可能仁波切开玩笑说他看了太多宝莱坞的电影吧，那电影中的婚礼都是轰轰烈烈的，那各种各样的，有哭哭闹闹的，有跳舞有唱歌，然后很多姿多彩的各种各样的欢庆的仪式都有。那可能是仁波切看太多这样的宝莱坞的电影，所以认为是婚礼一般上的他的看法里面是婚礼就是一定要这样的，热热闹闹才比较好看。
So then like some of the parents, they work for the whole life in order to their kids to be married for their marriage. Yeah.
印度文化社会当中，有些父母就是一辈子努力赚钱工作，就是为了要办一场轰轰烈烈的、有点样子的、见得了人的这个一个大婚礼。他们一生的努力的目标就是这一场婚礼而已。
So I'm just giving like it's a different rituals required different like different condition, it's also similar in here. If you want to receive like a Bodhicitta mind, yeah, Bodhicitta vow from this Chittamatra tradition, then it is required first you must learn all the precepts for the this like Bodhicitta mind. You have to be fully acknowledge about the percept and everything.
所以呢，就是不同的文化、不同的风格会产生不同的形貌状相。所以就这点而言呢，如果你要修学的是这个唯识中的这个菩萨道，修菩萨得到这个菩萨戒的话，修菩提心的话，那你就必须要从这个唯识中那边呢得到这个受戒的仪轨，得到这个传承。那开始的先决条件，你必须要对各种戒律它的详细的内容有所认知、有所了解。然后去承诺把它这个戒守得好，守得清净。
Then also, you must have like individual liberation vow in order to receive Bodhicitta vow also.
在受菩萨戒之前，也先必须要把自己的别解脱戒、个人的别解脱戒、个人的戒律先守好。
And then, like Madhyamaka is tradition is quite easy so that you don't really require so much of this like individual liberation vow and like aware of all the perception what is the percept, yeah, so it is not really required at the beginning.
这个中观学派的这个菩萨戒的立于仪轨，这比较松散一点。那你不需要说非要先接受这个别解脱戒不可，在接受这个菩萨戒之前，也不一定说你要细细的去研究戒律的详细的内容，然后守戒清净等等这些，大概都不需要。
So maybe then we will keep it here. This is just I just explained like in order to like practice like Bodhicitta mind, you need to receive the Bodhicitta vow, and when we are receiving the Bodhicitta vow, then how many rituals, how can we receive that Bodhicitta vow? There's two different rituals.
所以仁波切在这边要跟各位讲，就是说要修持这个菩提心，修正菩提心的话，就要先接受菩萨戒。而菩萨戒的利于它的传承有两大类，也就是刚才仁波切所说的这个唯识跟中观的不同的两大类的仪轨跟这个传承。
Okay, so maybe today we will stop here, and if there is any question and answer, we can.
Okay.
我们今天就说到这一边。那现在是发问问答的时间，如果有问题的话，可以各位在这个时候发问。
Okay, as some brothers in the previous session have not been answered, I will read maybe one more question first because it's almost time. So it's from TY, and the question is, hi, Rinpoche mentioned that mind training is unique, that it can convert our strong attachment into benefits compared to the other schools, where emphasis is on being calm and detached. So for people who are practicing, should we strive to detach, or should we be strongly attached to the benefits from the training?
这个问题问仁波切说这个修心里面呢，这个修心七要的不共的地方，特殊地方是说，它可以把我们的强烈的执着转为道用，它是这个修心七要跟其他的学派不一样的这个地方，所以对那些修持这个修心七要的人，我们应该是要尝试去除我们的执着，还是我们必须要很强烈的去对我们这个修心的功德有所执取呢？
Sorry, can you just repeat that question again? Like, because I'm just trying to look in the chatting room, I didn't find that question.
Okay, I will private message to you, Rinpoche, so that you could. please read the private message. I just PM you.
Okay. Mind training is unique that it can cover our strong attachment into benefit compared to other schools where emphasize on being calm and detached. Okay. For people who are practicing, should we strive to detach or should we be strongly attached to benefit from the training? Yes, it's all about that. So here, when we are saying that according to that like Vimalakitara Nidrasha Sutra, so because he said that this self-clinging is a cause for the enlightenment, because when he's saying that, so if you are self-clinging, it's a hold sin. In a Tibetan we call it the hold, controlled or converted by the method. The method is required. When this like self-clinging is combined with the method, then it can be turned into a path to the enlightenment.
所以根据这个Vimalakirti 就是维摩诘所说经里面呢，它的见地是这样的：我执就是成佛的原因，我执即成佛之因。那我只要加上怎么样的条件、怎么样的因缘，才能够把它转化为成佛菩提之因呢？也就是说，我执必须要遇到这个方便道，就是你要有种种的善巧方便，把它运用在我执身上，把这个我执转化为菩提道。那个才可以称之为转为道用，所以我只必须要用一些这方便的转化的方法，把它转化为菩提之道。这个就是我执之所以能够变成成佛之因的方法跟它的见地。
So this in fact like many of the time so in the Buddhism it comes the same, that sometimes that we use attachments against the attachment.
有时候在这个佛教一些方法来说，我们是有一些方便道，以贪化贪，以贪止贪，就是用贪欲或者用执取心来转化贪欲或者转化执取心。
And it's and also like sometimes even for the medical doctor, they are using the poison against the poison. It's similar like that also.
即便是在医学上有这所谓的同类疗法，我们就以毒攻毒，用毒药来把这个毒物给化解掉，也是有同样的理论跟见地的。
Okay, next.
下一个问题。
Please wait. Let me find the second question. Okay. So there's another question: is how to put the two truths in the daily life practice, ultimate and relative truth. I'll PM private message to Rinpoche so that you could read it.
Yes, I saw that message.
然后这个问题就问说，怎么样把这个二谛，就是世俗谛跟胜利谛，也就是相对真理跟绝对真理，运用在我们的日常生活中的修持呢？
So that is like pretty much like because when we are talking about the two truth, then when you when we practice meditate, because normally for the practitioner, they have meditation and post meditation 2 period. Yeah? Because when we are talking about the meditation time, that you should focus mainly on that mainly on that ultimate truth. When you meditate, you should focus mainly on that ultimate truth. Then when you, during the post-meditation time, that you should focus more on this relative truth.
那一般上，我们把佛教修持的阶段分为上座跟下座。上座是你是在禅修，你是在练习当中；下座就是说你在禅定后、禅修之后的这个状况跟这个时段。所以一般上座的时候，你要专注的就是要修学这个圣义谛，就是绝对真理。那下座之后，禅修后阶段呢，你就是要专注于这个相对真理，也是世俗谛的修正。
And I think that question is mainly on daily life. Yeah. So when he or she wants to engage like that in our daily life, I would say that like you can follow the relative truth according with the fully aware of ultimate truth.
这个问题问的
Just repeat again one more time. You can follow relative truth with the fully aware of ultimate truth.
能不能再讲一次？就是既然这个问题问到是怎么样在日常生活中起修这个二谛、世俗谛跟圣义谛，那仁波切答案是这样的，就是说你必须要在你日常的生活中依随世俗谛，但是也必须要对这个圣义谛呢有所觉知，了了分明。再说一次，你必须要在你的日常生活中依循世俗谛的常理，但是你也必须要对这个圣义谛，这是绝对真理呢，念兹在兹，了了分明，清清楚楚。
So that is like if you can, I mean to say, if they can, that is the best way to indulge that true truth into your daily life. But if you cannot do that much, but you can just simply follow the relative truth according to the Buddhism.
当然是最理想的状态了。如果你能够把这个二谛圆融的含摄在你的日常生活中，这个是最理想不过的一件事情啊。如果你不能够做到的话，那就在你的日常生活中，只要跟随这个世俗谛，就是相对真理的这个常理去运作，去起作用，那就可以了。
Because when we are talking about this question, then it's like always that that one thing comes in my mind is that like people are always saying, yeah, it is easy to say, but it's very difficult to do.
因为当问到这个问题的时候，人们就脑海中就浮现一个画面，说每个人都是讲啊，你讲是很容易的，做就很难做到，说易行难嘛。讲的话就天花乱坠，做的话就一点都做不到，用不上力。
And like sometimes people like even think that like we are like a hypocrite because because they are saying that we should do this and that, they themselves are not able to do it.
很多人说，就你这个很虚伪嘛，你自己说要做这个做那个，你自己就不能够以身作则，你自己都做不到，却要求别人做一大堆这个的有的没的，所以你这是一个很虚伪的一个修行人。
So I would like to say here one thing very important, that when we are talking about the Buddhism, that what we are saying is like what it has been taught by the Buddha. Like Buddha said that is the right thing to do. We are just simply saying it, but it doesn't mean that we are doing it.
那我们说到佛教的时候，我们就跟随是佛陀的言教，佛陀的教法，佛陀所讲过的话嘛。那佛陀说这个东西是正确的，应该要去做的，我们就一样画葫芦说这个东西是正确的，应该要去做的。那这样说并不表示说我们已经做到了，我们只是说到而已，说到并不等于做到。
Because that first one that I said that like you should follow relative truth with a fully aware of ultimate truth. That is like a very like a high level of like high level of practitioner, how they engage.
所以刚才仁波切所讲那句话，就是依循这个世俗谛的常理，但是同时也要对这个胜利谛呢，绝对真理念兹在兹，了了分明，清清楚楚。这是比较老参，比较属于这高阶的修行者所运用的这个二谛双融的方法。
Okay, so then from tomorrow also, you will hear a lot of things that which is not I'm able to do, but I will say that we should do that.
那明天开始你会有一大堆的念头说啊，我应该做这个，我应该做这个，都做不到，可是你就认为说你应该要去做的，有很多的各种这样的想法。
So that is why I'm saying from the beginning, it is not that I'm not saying that what I'm doing isn't that. So it is simply saying what Buddha has asked us to do, like what is the right way to do, but it's according to each and every different individual that you have to act according to your own capability and capacity. That is the way of doing practice. Not that like you don't have to do what all and everything I said. Obviously, you will not able to do. I'm not able to do because what I'm saying is like what Buddha has taught us.
也就是之前仁波切就一开始就跟各位说，我们在这边所讲的主题、所讲的内容，并不是说已经做到了才讲，而是说这是跟随这个佛陀的言教所流传下来的这个言教。那么呢，就是我们应该要根据我们自己的根器啊、自己的能力、自己的生活条件去实践应该实践的这个佛陀的言教，因为佛陀的言教是能够适应各种不同的众生的。所以如果我们说到就做到的话，我们说了那么多的话，恐怕就很难圆满这样的一个愿望吧，就是就是眼高手低，对不对？所以主要就是我们要知道自己的能力跟根器在哪里，然后根据个人的个别的需要去做我们应该要做的，根据佛陀的言教来实现应该实现的正言正行之类的东西。
Okay, then we will stop here. Okay, then thank you everybody, and then see you next time, and we will do a dedication prayer together. Sonam de tamje vipanye tobne nyebe danam pamje ne jega na je balaban chuba ye siben solen do. Okay, good night. Hello.
Finish.
JJ.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.